The tank, heavy assault A-33, was a British experimental heavy tank based on the Cromwell design developed in the Second World War when there were concerns as to performance of the Churchill tank development. After the Jep raid in August 1942, there was concern that the Churchill infantry tank was slow and too unreliable, and it was suggested that production of the Churchill stop in 1943. In order to manufacture more of the A-27 design, which was performing well in trials, while 2 lines of tanks were still policy, there was interest in a universal tank chassis, from which infantry tank and cruiser tank and other vehicles could be built. Until then, an interim design based on the A-27 to replace the Churchill as an infantry tank was considered. Rolls-Royce proposed an up-armored A-27 and a more thorough redesign of the A-27 with stronger suspension and armor equivalent to the Churchill. English Electric proposed using the A-27 hull and turret with extra armor and the track and suspension of the 50-ton US M6 heavy tank, which had been developed for both US and British use. English Electric built 2 prototypes on a Cromwell tank hull, the first with the suspension of the M6 tank in 1943, though with a 6-pounder gun. The second was built with a widened Cromwell track and different armored skirts. The design included extra armor and an ordnance QF 75mm gun. When the problems of the early Churchill models were worked out, the A-33 was no longer required and the project was dropped. Survivors. The second pilot vehicle is on display at the Tank Museum in Bovington, UK.